When I started learning German, my routine was a mess. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a schedule. I just studied whenever I felt like it. And as you can imagine, that didn't actually work, at least as intended. But once I started taking it seriously, I changed one thing and everything became way easier. Part one, the turning point. The biggest mistake I made at the beginning was this. I treated German as something optional, something I would do if I had time. And the problem is, you never have time. So the first real change I made is simple. I made German a priority. Part 2. Blocking your priorities. What helped me a lot is something very practical. I started ranking everything in my life. I separated things into what can't be touched and what can be adjusted. For example, university. That's a priority. If I don't study, I will fail. Work. Also a priority. If I don't work, then I can't support myself. Working out. Important to me because I have fitness goals that I want to achieve. And to be honest, adding activity into your day is very important to stay healthy. So that's also a priority. That should be the priority of everyone. And cooking. I can't eat out every day for various reasons. So I have to cook. Now, here's the key idea. Once you clearly define what can't be touched in your schedule, you stop lying to yourself about your time. You actually see how much time you really have left in your day or your week or your month, depending on how you schedule your time. And that's exactly where German goes, or any language that you're learning goes. Not as extra, but as something you intentionally fit into your time and into your life and into your schedule. Part 3, optimize everything. I went through each and every part of my life and ask this question: how can I make this more efficient so I can invest more time into my German? So I started with university. For uni, I changed my strategy. Instead of cramming before exams, I would study consistently from the beginning of the semester for like 1 or 2 hours a day, not more. By the way, my goal wasn't actually to get the best grades ever. It was actually just to kind of find the sweet spot and have more time to invest in my language because it was equally important to me. Next thing I went through is work. Work is a bit tricky because depending on the nature of the work you're actually doing, you may or may not be able to reduce the time of the work itself to win more time for the language. And to be honest, you don't have to overthink this a lot because we don't have to optimize every part of our lives. If you feel like it's a bit tricky to deal with a certain part of your life and make it more efficient or whatever, just don't make it efficient. Just like keep doing it as you're doing it right now if it makes you more stressed. So, yeah, there's that. That's how I did it with the work part because I genuinely felt like it was a bit overwhelming. Now, moving on to working out. So, what I did is actually instead of going 2 hours to the gym every day, I would do 45 to 1 hour sessions 3 to 4 days a week. And yeah, while training, I would also use the time to listen to the language, which made it more, I would say, productive. And it actually reduces the feeling of guilt that you might get if you do something other than learning the language, you know? So that's also a tip. And same thing with cooking. I try to keep meals simple and not too time consuming. Same as for workout, I would also watch things or listen to things while cooking, eating, doing the dishes. If you're learning German or any other language, subscribe because I'm sharing everything that worked for me. Part 4, active study time. Now, after all of that, you still need focused study time. Time where you actually sit down and learn. For me, it was usually in the morning if I didn't have any morning lectures, or sometimes later in the day, depending on my day. I didn't have like a specific time that was blocked. Here's what I recommend: start small. 30 minutes to 1 hour a day is enough. And then, depending on your schedule and how fast you want to learn the language or achieve a certain level, you will tune that up or down. Basically, increase or decrease the time of studying. And remember, The goal is consistency. If you feel like you can't maintain a certain rhythm, you shouldn't go for it. If you see that you can't do 30 minutes every day for any reason possible, just don't do 30 minutes a day, do 20, all right? But the reason has to be valid, not scrolling or doing anything that is not productive, you know? So to end the video, I need to add this. You'll never be able to achieve a perfect routine and do it for long times, all right? My routine was never perfect. In fact, it was highly non perfect or unperfect or imperfect. I don't know the right word, but I tried to keep as consistent as possible to achieve the maximum progress that I could possibly achieve. Sometimes I would get burnt out and not touch the language for a few days. Sometimes I would not do that active learning session, but I do instead something fun. I listen to something fun. So remember always that you actually don't have to be perfect, because something that actually stops a lot of people from learning is that okay, they're consistent for a week or two, and then um okay, I can't study today. They don't study today. Tomorrow, oh, I feel so bad I didn't study yesterday. I'm a loser. No, consistency is never doing it perfectly and not breaking the chain, or having like a perfect streak. It's actually failing and going back again. You didn't study for a week, for a month. It's okay. Just go back like nothing happened. Because on the bigger scale, that week is nothing, all right? You will forget about it. You will just always feel like you have always been consistent, all right? So please stay consistent. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that this helped. I would really appreciate it if you like the video, comment, subscribe. Your subscribe is really valuable. And thank you so much. Keep going, keep learning, and never stop